folks. Welcome to Beadnell. Today you're joining me and the dog out on another run for adventure. Let's have a look around Beadnell and the immediate area and see what we can see. Not something major, but Beadnell's quite an old style village. And here we have the WWII Hall. And here we come to our first place of note. This is Beadnell Towers, now a hotel, bar, restaurant, nice food. But this was originally built in the early 1830s as a home, but it's now a hotel. And we'll just go around the corner to the Craster Arms. That's another pub, but it's one of the original pubs. It was a medieval tower house built in 1537. It was expanded later in the 18th century and became a pub / coaching house. The tower house that was built originally was actually a stronghold against the Scots, because we're quite far north here in Beadnell. And then we're immediately up to St. Ebba's church. St. Ebba was the sister of St. Oswald, who was king of Northumberland at one time. There's been a place of worship here since the 7th century, but it was rebuilt in 1800s. And there we go, St. Ebba's church, folks. Right, we're just going to have a run through the village now. It's a very quaint village, very Northumberland coast, but especially this part. Got a lot of old houses, bungalows. My dog's enjoying it, if you notice. On the path, Flora. Here on the corner, probably for sale for silly money, over a bit of an Art Deco house. The old co-op. And there we go. Our first glimpse of the North Sea, which can be wild, but it looks quite calm today. A few white caps. If you ever want to come up this way, there's a lot of properties here, B&Bs, cottages.com, that sort of thing. It's ended up that sort of place. So a lot of these houses are for rent, for short breaks. A lot of people consider this whole area to be Beadnell, but this section we're coming in here used to be separate. I believe it used to be called Benthall, but now it's all just considered as Beadnell. We're going to drop down and have a look at the harbour. It's rather windy on the coast today. You have to turn my hat back so the wind doesn't take it off. We're coming up to the harbour. You can tell the little boats dotted about. Just walk into the harbour. So there's this house on the harbour front there. Isn't that amazing? Like something out of a fairy tale. Look at that. Towers and everything. Our first glimpse of the beach, Beadnell Bay. But let's go along here. No, this way. No, this. So here we've got 3 old lime kilns from about 1789. Used to make quick lime and ship it off to Scotland for a mixture of fertiliser and mortar for bricks, for building. But it went out of use in about 1822. So here we go. Beadnell lime kilns, still in good order. Interesting place to visit. Let's have a look in. There we go, you see it's still used by the fishermen to store the gear. A little seat if you need to put your feet up in this alcove. There you go. There we go. And that brings us to Beadnell Harbour, where the lime kilns are built. This is actually the only west-facing harbour on the east coast. Because of the way the bay comes round and the way the harbour's built back on itself, it is the only west-facing harbour on the east coast. I find that quite interesting. Used to be a major fishing port at one time. You can see the boats there. Still used a bit, but not as much. So Beadnell Harbour, folks. You can see the waves crashing in at the back there. A beautiful day on the sea. And I will take my dog on the beach because she's getting impatient. Come on. We'll just let Buggerlugs off the leader. Because look how excited she is. Are you excited? Yes, yes, yes. Come on. This way. Come on. The dog loves the beach, like. She goes cracking on the beach. She's a typical Labrador. Loves the sea, loves the water. And this, folks, this is Beadnell Bay. A wild sweep of a bay. It's very popular for water sports, depending on the weather. You get all sorts here. You get kayaking, bit of windsurfing, paddleboarding, swimming even. It's a very shallow draft beach, so when the tide's in, you can paddle out quite far and still be able to stand up. There we go. You got some people on the beach, water at the moment, and my dog going crazy on the beach. Need to go across the water. Dog's happy though. As you see, got a windsurfer in now. Great place for water sports, folks. I just stood in a big puddle. Huge sweep of a beach when the tide's out. But you can see the white of sand up there. The tide goes all the way up there when it's in. So running here could be 2 totally different runs. Very wet. You ever seen a dog so happy? Look at her. She's over the moon. We're just coming up to a little stream that cuts across the top end of Beadnell Bay. The bay continues much further around towards Low Newton. So we've got a stream that cuts straight across. If the tide's out today, it's not very deep, but it can be waist deep. The dog loves it because you can have a bit of a swim. So we'll just have a look at that before we head up towards the sand dunes. So the dog's wanting us to throw stones in. As you can see, she's quite excited. Are you quite excited? This stream is actually made up from 3 little burns that come together to either side of the sand dunes. I think it goes around there and around there, and from a bridge that we just see that comes through the sand dunes. But it's Bruntelburn, Tungholburn and Long Nanny. They're all come together at the other side of the bridge, which I'll show you shortly when we get past the sand dunes. But she's like, hey, now I want to be in the river. Look at her. So 3 burns come together, make this a little bit of an obstacle on the beach. You can't just plunge across it, but we're going to go round to the bridge. You'll see you can plunge across it in the middle of winter when the tide's in and it's waist deep. You cannot. Well, you can, but you get very wet and cold. So let's have a look. Here we're just coming up to the sand dunes. The northeast coastline is famous for, and a lot of the coastline has sand dunes all the way up. And if you come the right time of year, you see loads of little birds flying in and out of nests burrowed into these sand dunes. I think they're actually sand mounds. If I'm wrong, let us know in the comments. So, yeah, you get little nests stuck in the side. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a lovely beach. Look at the sun on the water. It's absolutely spectacular. There's a little river snaking about. Go on, come here. Dog wants a stone, but there aren't any. See if I can confuse all the bit sand. Come on, this way. Let's go back up and you may be able to see the pools. Right, not on this camera. But this is the section I was on about where the sand mountains are. You enjoying yourself? This is quite wide. This bit at the moment is not normally this wide. I wouldn't like to plunge through that. Dog wouldn't mind. There she goes. It's going for a little bridge now. This bridge is where that stream comes through after the 3 burns met. We'll do a little bit on the other side of the bridge before we head back to the nature reserve. So come on, let's go and have a look at the bridge. Right, time to head off the beach for a little bit so we can get across the river. Come on, I need to put your harness on. We're going through here. Don't try to trap us. And this way to the bridge. This way we'll go across the bridge. Here, largely buried, but when I was young they used to sit on the surface of the ground. They're actually former beach defences from World War II. The huge big headboards helped prevent against landings during World War II. There used to be loads on the Northumberland coast when I was doing this, but not as many now, and most of them are nearly buried. And we're going to go and overlook a bit of the beach. That's sometimes roped off, sometimes we are. I'll tell you why when we get there. Try not to fall over here. Can't see the ground for the grass. Right. We're now at the other side of that stream, looking down at the beach. This section of the beach is quite often roped off certain times of the year because of protected breeding birds. Northumberland's great for India bird watching, India wildlife. There's so much to see. And here, as I say, it can get roped off. Let's show you without being aware. So this section I've seen roped off a couple of times. Protected birds to get up here nesting. You get little terns, Arctic terns, and ringed plovers. So during breeding times, this area of the beach is sometimes roped off and restricted. So if you're coming up, remember that. But doesn't it look amazing? See, right across the bay, the Beadnell where we came from and where we're heading back to. Right across, nature reserves, beaches, sand dunes. It's quite amazing. So we're going to head back, probably cross back over the bridge quite soon. The dog's happy. You happy? What do you think? You think she's happy? Yeah, there she goes. Spiky, this grass like. Stop sand running now. Takes out your legs a bit. And put you on in case there's any cows. Yeah, even though it's a bit of a nature reserve here, gotta have the dog on the lead because sometimes you get cows grazing. As you can see, I'm running with my dog today. Bit of canicross. I've actually got a video coming up on that subject. So don't forget to like and subscribe and you'll know when it comes out. This is where we turn and head back towards Beadnell. This whole section along the sand dunes, it's actually a nature reserve. It's not just bird life you get here, you get all sorts in the way of flowers and all that. You get wild orchids and the such. So sometimes it's not just bird watchers you get along here, but those interested in our native plant life. It's a lovely place. It was chilly when I come out, but now I wish I didn't have my coat off and I can't be bothered to take it off. There's the river winding its way down before it goes through the bridge and crosses the beach. And we're coming back to the bridge. So we'll get across here. We'll just walk across and enjoy the view. As I say, down the river, across the bay, back to Beadnell, and that way. Look at that. You ever see something that's as spectacular as the English countryside and coastline? You don't have to go abroad to see magnificence in nature. We've got it here on our doorsteps. The dog's going to be a little bit disappointed because when we come off the bridge, we're not going back on the beach for a bit of variety. We're going to head down through the nature reserve to the caravan sites. As I say, cows graze here, So be careful. There's a lot of cow paths. You don't want to be standing in them. And there we go on the path. The bane of every trail runner, cows. Alright, come here. The dog closers will ease our way past. They're watching us. They're blooming big. And there's more. Being watched. We'll definitely just walk through here because it's not like you can outrun a stampeding cow. So I'd rather not cause the stampede. I like these ones lying down. These ones, obviously there's calves there. And when there's calves, you have to be careful. Being watched. A mother and a calf. Another mother and a calf. You just don't want the calves getting curious and upsetting the mothers. There we're past. Run again. Let's see if this sign tells us anything about the wildlife here. My knowledge is a bit sketchy, to say the least. There we go. Have it there if you want to read it. Songbirds in the spring, as I was saying, little terns, Arctic terns and long nannies in the summer. Grey seals, we haven't seen any this year. Farne Islands is famous for the seals. And then in the winter, birds such as widgeon and teal, white phlox and redwing. So no matter when you come up, Beadnell, and where the whole Northumberland coast is an amazing place to visit. Right, we're up to nearly 7.5 kilometres, so I'm going to push on a bit because the dog's getting impatient and tangled. And getting me trapped in the gate. So we're just coming into a caravan site here, static caravans. I believe it's one of 3 in Beadnell. There's actually 2 just here next to each other and 1 over on the front. So these ones in a nice location, just behind the sand dunes, so protected from that stormy sea, wind occasionally. So I was right, there's 2 different caravan sites down here. Just leaving one, and here's the other one. You guys play a coastal trail run? If so, where's your favourite place to run on the coast? Comment down below. Let us know. Let us know if it's worth checking out. We're now at the car park at Beadnell Bay. It's nice here. If you've got a van life, hey, you get away camping in your van, you can park here overnight. You see a couple of vans here. Don't have much, look how much it is. Overnight motorhome permit parking. Bays 128. Permit charges £12 if you buy them online. Got a QR code, but I'd never recommend using these stuck-on QR codes. So when you could stuck another one on, go to the website. Not that I'm paranoid. And also here, there's a bit of a water sport rental place. So if you want to try out a water sport, what I mentioned earlier, you don't have your own gear yet, you can hire it. I'll check online to see if it's open and available. But there you go, adventure sports. There it is, you can book online. Just take a snap. And here, we've got one of my favourite attractions. This will surprise you. It's a bar. This is the landing. It's actually changed since last time I was here. It did have like teepees out the front, but now it's got a glazed off area. And I will be testing it out later today. So come on, back we go. So we're just going to head up the other side of those caravan sites and across the fields back into the old village where we started. Right. This path takes us past the newer side of Beadnell. A lot of new houses being built here. But one thing I would say, I don't think they come into the bracket of affordable housing, if you know what I mean. They are nice houses, modern houses though. One for sale there. Right, there we are, back to the WWII, almost back to where we started. If I sign off, remember to comment below and tell us where your 4 favourite coastal trail run is. Let others know where it's good to run. As I say, we're nearly back to where we started. I think it's going to be about 10k in total. But running on sand beaches, sand dunes, it's hard work, harder than some of the normal trails I run on. So my legs are a bit tired. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I'll put the route up. You'll see what the total distance was at the end of the video. So for now, folks, from me and from Farah, say hello, say goodbye. It's a goodbye for now.